Hey yo, hey yo. Hey kings and queens. Hey gods and goddesses. I'm your host, Phoenix the Goddess, and you are now tuned into the Goddess Sanctuary. I thank you all for being here. This is a safe space for all kings and queens and everybody in between. This podcast is dedicated to the growth, support, and upliftment of all Black kings and queens because we need it. Today, this topic will be discussing relationships. And also, we discuss love, sex, relationships, and of course, self love. But today's topic is based on relationships. And we're going to tackle that big relationship that you have with your parents. Okay. Parental relationships. Okay. Whew. That is an intense situation to go in to just start with. But our topic is um, are you still living or trying to, or in the mental state of trying to live up to your parents' expectations of you? And what harsh expectations have you put on your parents? Not everybody want to talk about that though. Not everybody want to talk about that, but we're going to talk about it here today. Okay. Well, let's of course, you know how I get it down and start how I start off things. Um, let's start with the definition. I'm trying to go through screens. Please excuse me. Let's start with a definition of expectation. Expectation, let's start with the first one here, is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. That's one. Another one is a belief that someone will or should achieve something. Another one is one's prospects of inheritance. And here's another one that I did like a lot. Expectation is defined as believing that someone is going to something, excuse me, something is going to happen, or believing that something should be a certain way. Example, being a man or woman who is proper to consider them a lady or gentleman. Um, expectation. Um, if you're going to work and you're putting a certain amount of hours and you're there a certain long time, you are expecting to get a raise. These are all different sorts of expectations we have in society. Now, let's talk more so about expectations with our parents. Now, first, I did take some notes. First, it's not your job to feel obligated to live up to these expectations. Now, you have to understand your parents, they raised you and they have certain things they want you to do based on the things they may have not achieved in their life, based on the things that what society has told them and deemed to them as success. That has nothing to do with you as an individual. You set the mark for yourself. You set the tone for yourself. My purpose and or goals are not dictated by someone's comfort level. I'm going to say that one more time. This is something I wrote. My purpose and my goals are not dictated by anyone's comfort level. It has nothing to do with them. Oftentimes, when we are navigating through life, we feel that, okay, well, um, I have to make my parents proud. I have to do these things because this is what they feel is going to make them feel like they have a good son or daughter, that their son or daughter is pleasing to them. After we reach a certain level in our life, a certain age in our life, Our expectations should be only ours. You are the one who is supporting you. You are the one who determines what your life is, right? And a lot of times people don't understand our purpose, our purest purpose and purest journey here has nothing to do with our family, with our lineage, with anyone in particular, but our soul's purpose. That's beyond a physical tense. That's beyond physically what the world has told us and deemed to us what we should be doing. Why are you a nurse practitioner, but all you ever wanted to do is be an artist? Why are you a mechanic and you always wanted to be a brain surgeon? These are things we have to ask ourselves. When are you going to take the initiative to live on your truth? It doesn't matter what you've been told you should do. These are all based off what others feel meet a certain status quo or have a certain level of societal norms. Last time I checked, aren't we all individuals? Don't we all have a path? We all have a journey. So there's no way that your journey and your life is deemed and has to be and its purpose. Now, it can be that way, but how could it be true purpose? True soul purpose, not purpose of what the family has done over the last 20 years, not, oh, this is what your father did. Oh, no. What is deemed for your unique, especially if you're living in this time, in this age of Aquarius, in this space and time, your purpose is unique. You can't be living in this space of time and not have a unique destiny and purpose. It's literally designed for you to journey on. And you might bump and fall. You'll lose people. You might have a time when your parents don't want to talk to you. But guess what? When you was a little kid and you misbehaved and did things you weren't supposed to do, they get mad at you too. But as an adult person, a person who's above the age of 21, you know, you can't live by those margins. You're just so unrealistic because one thing you might make someone happy in, the next thing you do makes them unhappy. I love all of these things about Ebony or Phoenix, me. I love all of these things, but I don't like this. I love all of the, I like this thing, but I don't like those things. Who cares? Not me. I promise you. Oh, I promise you I don't care. Because the last time I remember, you are not the reflection I see in the mirror. I need to be happy in whatever facet I am. I can't let what you think jade my mind because if I do, guess what? I may never go after my destiny. I never will reach my calling. My calling may not be clear, it may not be defined, but if I'm going on that path, I'm going to reach it. If you're going, anything you put energy into, you're going to achieve it. Whatever your purpose is supposed to be, you're going to attain it if you focus on that, not based on what your mama and daddy want. Because guess what? If you sit down and ask your mama and daddy, ask them have they achieved everything they mama and daddy wanted to do. Oop! Oop! No one's going to say the truth. No one's going to say the truth. So understand it's more than what you think it is. It's not just based on, oh, we have a certain thing we have to meet. No, it's literally having to do with your own personal journey. If I feel comfortable with my journey, that's all that matters. I don't care if it looks like I am doing the most unethical thing or very misunderstood. But if I can see the vision, if I understand it, if I'm able to see that vision, I can definitely make it come to fruition. Because the same people that are chastise you, talk about you, lie on you, talk about what you do and do not do, are the same ones when you keep pushing your vision and you keep going and you get to where you need to be. I'll be like, oh, I knew them back in the day. Oh, they are doing so amazingly. Oh, I knew you can do it. These are the same people, like, these are the same people that talk that mess to you, but don't determine anything that you are. Last time I checked, anything that I do for my life does not affect how you eat, work, and shit. The last time I checked, anything that I do does not affect how you eat, work, and shit. And I'm not going to say that one more time. Anything that I do does not affect how you eat, work, and shit. And that's what I mean. That's it. Period. Period. Because there's too many grown adult people who are still worried about meeting expectations of your mama, your daddy, or your great uncle. And people will try to shame you and hurt you and make you feel like you are wrong. Think about the people, first person who wanted to fly. Can you imagine having a thought so big and expansive that you know people are going to think you're insane? But that is a primary way that we travel now. You see what I'm saying? You have to go the course. But here's the thing, you have to be willing to go the course. You have to be willing for your soul, not for no job, for nobody, that you making someone else's dreams come true. Not to say there's nothing wrong with doing that. But if it's not something that's your purpose to do, if you're not purposed to be a healer and a doctor, don't do it just because it makes a good check. Don't do it because you're going to be so unfulfilled. Anything that is your purpose, even if the financials don't come immediately, they will come in due time. They will come in due time. Don't set yourself up. Don't let these people make you feel like you got to be something they need you to be. Nobody needs you to do nothing but be you. Be you. You can't worry about who is looking up to you. Who is this? Who is that? Let me tell you something. You may be the first person in your family to achieve what is destined for you in a unique way. And whether it's looked at as a negative or positive societally, what is supposed to be for you is for you. And my thing is that whatever you choose to do, be the best at it. Listen, and when I mean whatever you choose to do, be the best. Be in your calling, be in your truth. Because if you're moving in your truth, you'll always be the best. Can't nobody call you out on no being fake if you're living in your truth. Can't nothing come out the woodworks 5 years later. Oh, this person is a real argumentative person. If you come out being in your truth and people see your growth or your change, or you say the same, it's just you. You never lose. You can't lose at being you, but you'll always lose at being somebody else. You will always lose being somebody else, trying to be somebody else, trying to copy their style, trying to copy. It's different when you have influence. But when you're trying to be a whole mock copy of somebody else or what people deem to be normal, deem to be successful, deem to be what you should be doing in this infrastructure we live in, for me, I understand where we live. This is a large scale game of Grand Theft Auto. So ultimately, you have free will and choice whether you're going to just go and do what everybody does and be unhappy your whole life. And then you get to where you're 85 and have sitting there, laying there with so many harbored up regrets, opposed to doing what you truly wanted to do and taking the chance on you, taking a chance that you might fail. But there's no way when you are deemed and covered, your ancestors, you have so many energies and people in place for you to just go for your dreams. Even if it don't, even if you don't know what your dream is, it might be something so minute you start doing that you end up finding out that was your purpose in the first place. Mm, that was your purpose in the first place. I'm sorry, I get very passionate about these things because about purpose and finding your purpose and things like that is so important to me. And I feel that everyone should live in a damn truth. You know, it's sad because I see adults, my parents and friends, cousins, people I know in work environments still worry about what their mom and dad will say. I think to myself, I think to myself, and actually, I need to address this. Let me go ahead and address this real quick. And this might be a little ratchet, but we're going to address this real quick. Now, if you are an individual that feels the need to contact my mom about my platform, about what I do on social media, let me let you know something ahead of the game. My mom is fully aware. Me and her had a conversation because someone someone went, and this wouldn't be the first time, somebody went to my mom and told her about a year ago about photos that I placed on Instagram with me in a lingerie. Very sexy, very pretty lingerie, red lingerie. No, and I knew it was coming. I was just waiting to see where it was coming from so I could knew where to calibrate and who I needed to block or who I needed to cuss out. Just depends on the day. But for this particular incident, it was controlled. My mom reached out to me, Ebony, you should take that down. Things of that, what field you're in, the medical field. You do this, you do that. At the time, I obliged by taking it down off of Facebook, not Instagram. Just because I didn't want her to be stressed out. Because at that point, she hadn't seen the photograph. I didn't want her to be stressed out. Okay, I'll take it down. So coming this year, everybody knows I have my platform now and I discuss different topics. Now, I don't just discuss sexual content. Anybody who's watching my stuff, I'm not just discussing sexual content, but these group of individuals, which were people my mom knew growing up as a kid, these are people that, in her experience and growing up, it was a very structured um, church home, and people that affiliated with them, my mom and her siblings. And they were very cruel to my mom and her siblings and my aunts. Cruel and chastised them and hurt their feelings and put certain stigmas on them to make them feel fearful. So this time my mom comes to me, she says, Ebony, I heard about a video of you dancing and I don't know. And she's like, I know that you're grown and Right there, we had to stop the whole conversation because she said the correct word. I know that you are grown. So if you know that I'm grown, there are certain things she knows she can't even, she knows that she can't even tap into. You know what I'm saying? She knows that. She's like, you're grown. You can do what you want, but I know that you have this brand you're building. You're having this. You're so amazingly positive. You have your lip line with a great concept. You have so many things going on. I just don't want you to jeopardize anything. And my response to my mom was in the purest essence. And I had told my mom this a couple of years ago, but it was kind of like more lighthearted. You know, it wasn't like a defined conversation. But I let her know, Mom, you gave birth to a little Kim. So whatever they said that I am doing, and I mean the way they describe it to my mom, they said that I was humping the floor, I was licking my tongue out, being like disgustingly sexual in a video that a grown ass 21-year-old woman has posted on social media for her platform. They didn't talk about how I talked about love languages, um, how I talk about manipulation. No, what they could bring up and discuss that I was talking about was the wildest place I had sex, was um, oral, whether you give or get these topics. These people are on my page watching my content, and I'm pretty sure more than once. Because if you got your Google eyes looking at my stuff, you sitting there watching more than once. Go to my mom and address her about her daughter. How unhappy are you? How unhappy are you? There's a few things in this world I don't play about. Baby mama junior, which is my mother, baby mother senior, which is my grandmother, my kids, which is my sibling, whether they older me or not, all my siblings are my children, period, because I don't play about them. My cousin, Rachel, don't play about her. My best friend, Brown, I don't play about her. It's certain people I don't play about, and you will end up in a bad situation with me. So this is truly dedicated to this lady, well, two ladies. Um, but I just want to tell you directly from my purest of hearts, I need you to worry about your gout. I need you to worry about your emphysema. I need you to worry about your halitosis. I need you to worry about if you got coronavirus. Okay? These are the things I need you to worry about, not me. Don't worry about what's going on with me. And to put more insult to injury, you said that you were so concerned about Ebony and what's going on with her, but you made it your business to contact my mother when I'm a grown ass woman to tell her what I was doing on my page. I'm just trying to put this one and two together. When you could have simply went to my inbox if you were truly concerned, but you've never been concerned about me. You don't care where I sleep, what I'm eating, what I'm doing. You've never showed a care about me in your life, not until you see me post something. So I need you to go make sure you worry about your fucking gout. You worry about your emphysema and your glaucoma and the fact that you can't walk a block without being out of breath. Those are the things you need to prioritize. And that's the shit you should be worried about, not what I'm doing. Okay? And then it won't. So moving on. But just to say that, you know, I don't harbor any anger in my heart, but it's just certain things that people are so worried about. But why are you worried about that? You worried because I live out loud? Because I love myself? because I love the way I look even now. I love myself at my biggest. I love myself at my lowest. I love myself with makeup on. I love myself with makeup off. I love myself when my rose is tucked pushing out. I love myself when I know I'm not even my best, because I know I have to love me through the process. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for me. No one's gonna do it for me. You know what I'm saying? And because my mom had so much, and I think it wasn't intentional, but it was more so because she had her own fears. Like those triggers. She had her own triggers from her childhood and people she knew that were coming to her that put her almost in a state of, oh my gosh, people are saying things from the same area of space she was. And that kind of trauma, like, Ebony, I just don't want, I'm worried. And Mom, don't worry. I made it very clear. Do not worry about me, Mom. You have done your job. You know that I am a healthy thinker. You know that I'm only going to do something I'm comfortable with. But if my comfort level was having my legs wide open, then that would be my comfort level. That would be something that I would be okay doing. I don't do anything that I don't feel I would be okay with my children knowing. Then there's this expectation of, well, you have younger siblings, you're the oldest. When you're the oldest, you always have that on you. From the time they're little, you have to make sure, oh, why they did that? Why you don't know they did that? It's always that. But then when you become an adult, it's still, well, then you have your siblings looking up to you. You have certain people looking at you. The church doesn't think this. And whoa, whoa. I don't, I don't care about any of those things at all. I never did, and I still don't. And the fact that these people try to manipulate my mom to make it seem like they care when they really, really don't. They just really nosy as hell and put her in a whole state of frantic because she's so worried about what they said. I mean, they was being absurd in the context they were saying I was doing things, but you just upset because you're not bold enough to do it. You're upset because you're not strong enough to do it. You're upset because you're 65 and you have not achieved the goals that you wanted in your life. Because if you were working on those things, you wouldn't have time to worry about what I'm doing. My mom, she got a lot going on, and I don't play about that one. I go to war behind that. I don't play about her. She got a lot going on in a very positive way. Like, I'll put it out there. I'm so proud of my mom. She's about to be a whole practitioner. She got like a month or two. Stop playing with her. Don't disrespect her, and don't disrespect me, because I can care less what you think. But if you come fooling with her and stress her out about anything that she don't need to be stressed out, your ass is mine. Your ass is mine. And that's on period. I know this is going very far. I just had to get that out there. Had to put that little PSA out there. But let's talk about the expectations we actually put on our parents. Okay, we're gonna have to get on that too. Get on that too. The expectation we put on our parents. Now, I know this is gonna be difficult because as children of parents, we have certain expectations we expect of our parents. And as an adult person, you have to get to the point where you don't look at your parents as your parents. Now, I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. I'm saying this more so you have to look at your mom, look at your dad as an individual, opposed to them just being, oh, that's my mom and dad. No, look at them as Tom. Look at them as Sharon. Just look at these two people as individual people, right? Then look at them as like Okay, these are two individual paid people, and look at them as certain things they have. How old were they when they had you? These are the questions you should ask yourself. Look at them as individual people. How old were they when they had you? Were they 20? Were they 25? Were they 17? Then look at your maturity level at those same ages. Could you have handled having a mortgage, having three kids? Could you have handled those things? Still having to be a parent, having to deal with the healing that you never got from your parents? Their parents, they've never got that healing that they needed from their parents. They had their own trauma and they were trying to adult. So understand your parents give you the best they can give you with what they got in their own understanding, and as far as how much they have healed internally where they are right now. You got to believe it. Think about it. Most people parents aren't healed. They're going to die and not be healed people. You understand that, right? You understand that right now that we're sharing this space, this is such a privilege. This is a privilege. You're going to be able to have the time and space to think about these things and have a true shot at healing, whether you're a parent or not now. But you have the essence of you're not an old dog yet. You know what I'm saying? Some people will be stuck in that. And that also has to do with having a very young soul. You have to learn more. So in my experience and how I feel spiritually, they'll have a couple more times to come back and get this right. But if you're listening to me, if you can receive this, look at your parents in a different light. Like, how old were they when they had you? How much trauma did they have to still go through and heal through that they still probably haven't even done because they're so focused on, okay, we gotta do this, the kids, oh, I gotta, no, they haven't had time to even heal. And then think about the stigmas that were put on for their time and age. Okay. It wasn't cool to go to therapy. That was, especially in our society, the Black society, it was not cool to go to therapy. Nobody was in no therapy. That's more modern. That's more now. That's accepted in a Black household. That understanding that mental health is a serious matter. You know what I'm saying? This is not a joke. There's so much trauma we have dealt with as a people, that we have traumas that are not even from our parents, that are from like our great grandparents. You see what I'm saying? So we have lineage trauma, and having to heal and restore that and break through traumas that had nothing to do with you. When you could do that, you a bad king. You a bad queen. But understand, your parents did the best they could with what they had. And some of them are so broken and so unhealed and so stubborn that they're not going to ever have the chance to find out in this life what that's about, what it feels to be healed. You know what I'm saying? What it feels to love and be healed. What it feels to be healed and love on your children. What it feels to be healed and love on yourself. And it's sad. A lot of them will never have that chance in this lifetime to thoroughly heal. But you do. It doesn't matter when you start. If they're able to receive and they're 85 and able to receive what I'm saying, they have the chance to get that healing before, hold on, I didn't drop my notebook. Get that healing, before they out of here. You know what I'm saying? And that will be a major breakthrough and bring a lot of healing. Your parents, they going through they mama trauma. They still get nervous when they around their family, or even just the concept of what I was telling you earlier with my mom. I could tell that even someone reaching out to her like that, and those particular people, it made her heart nervous. You know what it felt like for me to see her nervous like that? I will hurt you if you fool with her, because she's broke through a lot of barriers and she's still growing. But I'll hurt you if you come fooling with her. And it's like, I had to really evaluate that. Like, Mom, I'm not, those people got you messed up. They not gonna have me messed up. You know what I'm saying? They know those people are not gonna put the trauma that they try to put on you and it come to me. That's rejected from my door. I'm not dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not person to deal with it. Take them out of the roles. Understand your parents are portals. They are literally portals. I thank my dad. That's an interesting fellow there. I thank my dad. I thank my mom for allowing me the portal and the space to come onto this planet. But after I've reached a certain age, I am no longer their responsibility. I am no longer what they should feel I need to be. I'm only deemed to be the person and the purpose I'm supposed to be. I know for me, I'm not supposed to be the typical normal person. I know that. I know that. And I'm okay with that because I'm okay with loving myself. I'm okay with myself. I know how I feel about me. I know that I'm important. I know I bring value to the world, even if I don't always know how I'm going to bring to the world this time or if this is going to work. But if I do it, I can't say I didn't try. We all are meant for value. I'm a healer. These are the things I claim over myself. And these are the things that not even me choosing. I'm a healer to people in many ways. I'm loving. I'm supportive. And I have a heart that is unique to me. And I claim that. And I stand in that truth. Stand in your truth. It is important. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter if it just seems quirky. It doesn't seem normal. Who is normal? And last time I checked, ain't nobody normal stands out. You don't stand out. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, and so are you. I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. If my ancestors are looking at me now, and I know they are, they tell me all the time, listen, you gotta live just as you are. You came to this planet this time to be a free spirit. You have to live in your truth 100% because you're gonna free so many other people from their inhibitions. But my life has literally geared me up until this point to be that person. I had to go through a lot of shit growing up and societally and in my home. I had to go through a lot of things. I had to be a person that got mistreated a lot or talked about it. I had to be. It was only for the immense amount of calling I have on my life that I can stand here presently and always be the front line. People in my personal life, my friends, they know I'm the front line. I'm the first person to do something. Then I'll tell you how it worked out and tell you you can do it too. And come on, let's do it with me. I'll do it first because I don't mind being sacrificial with my own journey. I don't mind being the front liner. I don't mind getting yelled at. I don't mind getting cursed out. I'd rather stand up and do it first and I see how it works out and then I'll put you on immediately. It works. Let's go. That's me. I don't mind being that person. And I don't mind being unapologetically me because I came to a point of self-acceptance. I came to the point of self-healing. And that's those things that your parents cannot give you. Not every one of our parents are here. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give you those, oh, I'm sorry's. You better believe most time your parents, they alive, they're not going to say sorry to you because they have a lack of healing. For people to apologize is rough for a lot of people. They don't feel they need to. So you got to be the person giving yourself the apologies. I'm sorry I allowed that to hurt me the way it did. I'm sorry for just not even knowing. I forgive them for this. You have to be willing to give yourself the freedom. It ain't your parents' responsibility. But you know what? because you are so powerful, because you are here today and you can make that effort and change in your life. Your kids don't have to go through that trauma. I know my kids, when I do start having children, they're not going to have to deal with the trauma that I've developed growing up and living in the world, or the trauma that my parents may have put on me. I don't have to live with that. And my kids are not going to have to deal with that. So they get to have a fresh slate. They get to have a fresh slate of pure love, pure understanding, pure healing, different tactical ways of how to heal children, how to bring them in so they are cultivating themselves and what their purpose is. And even if you have kids right now, like I said, if you're listening to this, you have the mind, you have the fortitude to change your thinking, to work, really truly work on your healing process. You know, this healing process is not just a 1, 2, 3 thing. I hope you don't think that. No, I could say on a high, very high spiritual level, I've been working on myself for about 5 to 6 years. So this is 6 years, and this is not a 1, 2, 3 into the 4, 1 to the 2, 2 into the 3. But hopefully, the fact that I have put in all that work for myself spiritually, and I'm able to broadcast it to other, it cuts down on your time of you having to figure out these things that took me years to figure out based on my own personal journey, my own focused study. But you will never be able to achieve the level of understanding that I truly have if you do not work on yourself. You have to put in that work. And it's scary, it's uncomfortable. Sometimes you feel like you don't even want to deal with it. Trust me, I've been through all the emotions that you could ever imagine to get to this place that I'm at. And my growth will continue. My growth will continue. I just hope to be a broader light for people to understand. Understand that you start off as the caterpillar, not the butterfly. Hello, not the butterfly. You start off as a caterpillar. And what does a caterpillar do? They go into a cocooning stage, a cocooning stage. So if you're going into cocooning stage and it's heating up and you've been talked about, you've been treated bad, you've had positive situations that happen to you, you have negative situations happen to you, you have all kinds of these different things that are wrapped around in you. But ultimately, all these things lead to your transformation, lead to your healing, lead to your growth if you allow it to. If you fight your growth, you fight your healing. If every time you want to deflect, you don't want to talk about it, you are doing yourself the biggest disservice you can do on this planet. Because that's the work that's truly the work of the world. That healing, that understanding will bring you to a whole new plane. And that's something that you could never buy. That's something that no one could ever give you. Oh, it's a deep, dark, scary night of the soul. There are deep things that sometimes you have traumas that you don't even know that you have, or even knew it was a trigger or a trauma until you start really digging deep and going through every situation that has caused you trauma. And then even notice yourself how you interact with people or certain things that set you off or were a trigger, and figure out, okay, that was a trigger. Pay attention to yourself. And then maybe not even talking to that individual or that situation, but taking time to yourself and tracing that trigger, like gently go back into the breadcrumbs of that trigger to get you to where you are that blooming butterfly. Everybody deserves this. No matter how mean, no matter how rude, no matter what you've been through, whether it's being raped, molested, beat, all of these things, yes, these things are very imbalanced. And there are things that you're going to have to pay for the imbalance. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's done things that are truly imbalanced to others, it's going to balance themselves out. They have to. But these all things have been sculpted for your journey just so you can come to a place of healing, because you are not the only one who's gone through that. Nothing is new under the sun. So let your story, your healing, help somebody else. Become the butterfly. Find your truth. Find your calling. You don't have to know where it is or exactly who it is. Whatever it is, your calling, your soulmate, whatever, you don't need to know exactly who it is. But if you're working consistently on yourself and you're working just to meet your expectation, the sole purpose of you, sometimes your own self, you like, I don't want to do all of that. Listen, if I didn't listen to my ancestors and half the things, my higher self, half the things that I wanted to do, I wouldn't be doing them now, or I would have never tried to do them. I literally sometimes have to say, okay, but am I ready? No, do it. This is what it, no, you're right on. Be truthful, be honest, be real about who you are. No one can ever call you a fork tea or fake. Never a fraud, never a flaw. Ain't nothing flaw in this. This is for me and for everybody. They should know themselves to be. If you are made in image, you are the physical representation of what God is. You are literally the physical representation of what God is. So when you look in the mirror, you're looking at a physical representation of God. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I didn't go over all y'all heads. Okay? So use that God force within you and listen. Be receptive. Stop going against what your spirit is telling you. Because you always like, man, I should have listened. I knew that. I knew I should have. Listen and live in your truth. Live in your truth, baby. I love you all. And I hope this was informative and, that, you truly got something out of it. You know, I always feel that way. I always feel that way. I'm just trying to check if I had any other notes I wanted to hit. Um, no, that was pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah. Understand your parents did the best that they could do. Understand that you are not deemed to live by anybody's expectations but your own, but your soul's purpose. That's the expectation level you should have, not based on what anyone else says. We need to have healing. If a divine feminine, a divine masculine is living in their truth and doing exactly what they're supposed to do for their heart and soul, you will never lose. You'll meet the divine partner that's for you. You'll have the divine interactions that you need. You have people come into your life in place to do certain things for you just because that's what they are deemed to do for you and be in your life for. I love you guys and I hope you enjoyed. Stay positive and stay encouraged. Love y'all.